Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including new Cybertruck feature confirmations, Tesla discounting cars by $3,000, a new controversial patent from Tesla, and more, so let's get into it, and a special thanks to Babbel for sponsoring a portion of this video. First up today, the latest Cybertruck updates as we approach its official delivery this Thursday. The Cybertruck delivery event has been scheduled for a bit now, but the only details Tesla shared as to what time it was at was that doors opened around 1 p.m. CT. The official RSVP and their websites still don't mention any time, but we got confirmation from Martin Viecha that the event will officially begin around 1 p.m. CT. He said, quote, "The Cybertruck delivery event starts at around 1 p.m. CT on Thursday, in case someone's unsure. I've noticed that a few people thought it's an evening event. I think most were unsure since they never actually announced it in classic Tesla fashion, but at least we know now. Hopefully everyone can still make it since this is quite early compared to most Tesla product releases in the past." The official Cybertruck Twitter page posted an update saying this year it's Cyber Thursday, and there they confirmed it's actually at 2 p.m. CT. I imagine this means the doors open at 1 p.m. and the stream begins at 2 p.m., but we'll have to see. Again, Tesla could have handled this much better for people's travel plans and people actually being able to get excited for an event at a clear time. Apple does this better than anyone. In any case, Tesla has been putting Cybertrucks on display all around North America, and they seem to keep adding them each day. We knew they had been shipping these trucks and testing them in various locations, but now it looks like we know why. Here's one on display at Tesla's Boston showroom, another over in Dublin, California, one in Bellevue, Washington, and then one in Tampa, Florida. This one is pretty cool to see since they got video of the Cybertruck being pulled through the mall all the way to the Tesla store. What's consistent in all of these displays is that customers are not allowed inside. The tonneau cover is closed, the Cybertruck is in a display mode with the front light bar on, and there are stanchions keeping people a few feet back. Essentially, this means that we aren't learning anything new from these sightings, which very much is on purpose from Tesla. What's pretty cool about this though is that once Tesla announces this truck on Thursday, and hopefully details all specs, they can remove these stanchions at every store at the same time for customers to hop inside and check it out if they decide to do so. As of Saturday, Sawyer Merritt calculated there to be Cybertrucks in 5.5% of all US Tesla showrooms, but it has expanded since then. Here's a map of states that have one on display, as well as a list of where they are, and where they're rumored to be coming to soon. There's even one in Langley, Canada. People are tracking it regularly, so if you're interested, a short trip should allow you to see this truck in many states. So far, Tesla featuring these in showrooms has been working well. It's attracting people to their stores, where they're also likely telling customers about current incentives for buying their other cars, which we'll get to in a minute. It seems the showrooms in Canada had a line all day just to see the Cybertruck. Here's another store with many taking photos with the Cybertruck, and over in Dublin, California, at that showroom, someone got a video of the Cybertruck lining up for the display. And it's a pretty good demo of steer-by-wire, four-wheel steering, and this truck generally maneuvering in a tight space. At another store, people noticed that Tesla was using a stainless steel cleaner that they have rebranded as CyberShield. The bottle here says, "CyberShield is a cutting-edge cleaner and protective solution that redefines the way you care for the exterior stainless surfaces of the Cybertruck." It looks like it may be part of a general care kit for the Cybertruck that they plan to sell, and it could be something general and just rebranded, or something they actually developed for the truck specifically. In any case, a cleaner like this, however general it is, will be necessary since stainless steel car bodies are not normal. We've seen the Cybertruck next to a few trucks and other vehicles that give us a good size comparison, but now one has been spotted next to Tesla's current largest vehicle, the Model X. We can see just how much larger the Cybertruck truly is here, with just about every angle towering over a Model X. Over in Yosemite, a Cybertruck was parked next to a Chevy Silverado. This comparison shows a fairly similar size. The Cybertruck just always seems a bit larger, since the bed is far from traditional and slopes up. Aside from that, it does look to be a fairly similar size and height. One interesting thing to see is a lineup of Cybertrucks facing different directions, with many of them dirty at Giga Texas. Since they are so dirty, this photo gives us a great look at how the huge single windshield wiper will work in practice. It seems to clear more than usual from the driver's viewpoint, especially considering how tall the windshield is, but the passenger won't have as great of a view. In practice, I imagine this will work just fine, but we won't truly know until it launches. One of the coolest things spotted this week, though, is the Cybertruck's wake-up sequence. As the driver gets in, the light bar turns on in a sweeping motion, similar to many other cars with light bars, but it's a new thing to see from Tesla. Then we can see the Cybertruck raising from its low entry height to what we believe is the standard medium ride height. It's pretty impressive to see how much this raises and how quickly it does so. That took about 8 seconds or so, and there should be even more height to get from there. To get an idea of how much travel it has here, here's the video sped up 2x. For me, this gives me a clearer before and after, keeping in mind that of course it's slower than this in practice. In preparation for the Cybertruck event, people have been counting Cybertrucks at Giga Texas and have found around 25 of them around the facilities. The Baja painted one was spotted, along with a few in the parking lots. If we zoom in close to the open frunk of the Baja Cybertruck, it appears to have something plugged into the front trunk. Based on the latest rumors, there isn't power here, so they may have this rigged in a special way, or maybe it will have an outlet there after all. Hopefully they have a lot of these on display at the event, announce all important specs like range, and will be providing test drives. We'll also have to see if they make first deliveries to employees or customers. It's definitely interesting to see 25 at Giga Texas and hear the rumor that they're only going to deliver 10 of them at this event. Next up today, as we approach the end of 2023 and the end of Tesla's quarter, we're beginning to see their incentives come through and get more enticing for customers. Right now, when you buy a Model 3 or Y with a referral link, you'll get 6 months of free supercharging and 3 months of the FSD package. For the Model S and X, this only comes with the FSD trial. It's always going to be best to get a Tesla with a referral link, but even without it, Tesla is now offering the same 6 months of free supercharging as an incentive for Model 3 and Y buyers. It's now featured on their homepage and only comes with those who take delivery by December 31st. It's a pretty good incentive to get, but depending on your situation, you may find that 6 months runs out before you're truly able to utilize it. I suppose the situation that makes it most worthwhile is for someone buying this car and immediately planning to road trip. They also note that the EV tax credit incentives are available but may end up being reduced for certain cars. For the Model 3, they seem confident that this credit, even as it becomes a point of sale credit in 2024, will be reduced down to $3,750. This is always going to be pending federal guidance, so we don't know for sure, but Tesla does know their battery sourcing and their plans. It seems that come 2024, the Model 3 will only qualify for half of the credit due to their batteries. As for the Model Y, they don't seem quite as confident as to whether or not it will be reduced. They simply say take delivery by December 31st for full $7,500 tax credit. Essentially, buying in 2023 will guarantee that amount as long as you qualify, and they can't say for sure what it'll be in 2024. Next, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Babbel. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world with intuitive lessons to help you learn a language through real-life conversations. Back in October, I did a European tour playing with Jeff Goldblum and the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra. I very quickly learned how necessary knowing multiple languages is there, and felt a bit embarrassed at times to only know one. That has set me on the path to learning French, and Babbel is the perfect tool for the job. Babbel is scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. Lessons are designed by real language teachers, they have a 20-day money-back guarantee, and you get 2 free live classes with your subscription. I especially like that it teaches real-world conversations, and you can focus on things like travel. The app is great, and here I am learning some French with it. You'll have to forgive me here, I'm brand new to it, but progressing.
Enchanté, je suis Pierre.
Enchanté, je suis Pierre. Click the link in the description below to get 60% off during Babbel's Cyber Monday sale, and let me know in the comments what language you want to learn and why. At the same time, going into the end of the quarter, everyone is considering the fact that the new, very exciting refreshed Model 3 should be coming to the US soon. Waiting could pay off even with a reduced tax credit or no free supercharging, since that car brings a lot of great features. Likely in part to combat that, Tesla has begun offering actual inventory discounts on top of supercharging incentives. In Tesla's new inventory section of their website, they have begun discounting Model 3s by up to $3,000. These are brand new vehicles that qualify for everything, but cost $3,000 less. The only downside is you can't customize all the options, but it's likely that you can find something close to what you want anyway, since Tesla doesn't have too many options. For the Model Y, we're also seeing discounts up to $3,000. This comes for all configurations too, so here is a rear-wheel drive Model Y available for just $40,990 before any incentives. Here's a long-range Model Y at $46,540, and a performance just under $50,000 at $49,870. Considering the prices people paid for these cars in recent years, it's pretty crazy to see a performance Model Y under $50,000. For the Model 3, it's a fairly similar situation. Here's a rear-wheel drive Model 3 at $36,650, a long-range Model 3 at $44,640, and a performance at $47,420. This will of course depend on availability in your area, but it's worth checking out. There could be a great deal available for quick delivery if you're in the market. I'm personally curious to see if these discounts increase the further we get towards the end of the year though. I would assume that Model 3 sales will need an extra boost with the refresh on the way, but we'll have to see. The Model S and X also have some smaller discounts available right now for demo vehicles. The most I saw was around $1,300 off a Model X and $1,000 off on a plaid Model S. Demo vehicles typically don't sound as exciting, but some of them have incredibly low mileage. Last year, Tesla was offering discounts up to $7,500 off by the end of the year, but that was because the tax credit was about to arrive in 2023 for that amount. Then they proceeded to drop prices by a record 20% in January of 2023. I mention it to say that we can't quite compare to last year. The only real takeaway is that it's impossible to time right, and if you're ready to buy the car Tesla sells today and the incentives make sense for you, it's probably the right time. For some customers, these incentives, inventory discounts, and supercharging credits can add up to make the perfect vehicle purchase. Owen Sparks on Twitter posted about the Model 3 his parents bought, coming in at $25,650. They bought a rear-wheel drive Model 3 at $38,990. They got a Massachusetts state EV credit, the $7,500 credit, and the inventory price adjustment. After everything is considered and taxes are finished, they will have obtained a brand new Model 3 for around the price that Tesla is aiming for on their next vehicle. For the right customer today, the $25,000 Tesla already does exist, so it's always worth doing the research on savings and incentives available wherever you live. Next up today, Tesla has filed a patent for a slew of new features that may be quite controversial amongst customers. The fact that Tesla collects driving data already sits differently with some individuals. Then the interior camera has a mixed perception as well. Some understand and appreciate the safety it can help provide, while others don't want a camera looking at them in their car. Especially not one that Tesla can collect footage from. Even when anonymous and only collected in very specific circumstances, this data can be abused, but when handled correctly, it can provide great safety features. Tesla is very focused on safety, and a new feature for the interior camera in certain markets is a driver drowsiness warning. For this feature, Tesla says the driver drowsiness warning is designed to notify drivers who appear to be drowsy by monitoring driver facial characteristics, as well as driving behavior to determine patterns indicative of drowsiness. This comes in part because this will be required in the EU soon, but Tesla is expanding their functions here. Tesla's new patent includes a bunch of features enabled by facial recognition in your car, including select a driver profile, call 911 if you're unresponsive, drive to the nearest hospital if you're unresponsive and the vehicle is drivable. This would of course be a future feature that they would deliver if they achieve FSD, automatically adjust HVAC, greet you by name when entering the vehicle, automatically adjust seat positioning, change audio focus, and determine the health and safety of the driver. Some of these features are already available through their driver profile, linked to your key, but this links them further to your face. Included in this patent are a few images, and this one shows the recognition in practice from the interior view that we're used to seeing. Here it is from another angle. The listed inventors here are Blair Williams and Adnan Esmail. The applicant is Tesla Inc. from Austin, Texas, and the patent's name is Personalization System and Method for a Vehicle Based on Spatial Locations of Occupants' Body Portions. The patent itself goes into great detail and details the flow of how all of this technology works. What's particularly interesting is that this is something Tesla could deliver on the cars they already ship and have shipped for a while, but of course that will come with some controversy. It's a safer system that should be able to help drivers even more when in need and add some convenience features, but that will come with a facial recognition camera inside your car. With that said, most people have this on their phones already, so is your car really that much of a stretch? Ultimately, it will come down to how secure the data is. That will be vital. But what are your thoughts on this? Would you love to enter your Tesla, have it read your face, greet you, and provide all of the features this patent mentions? Or would that be too much for you? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Next up today, a small new fee that Tesla will begin charging at superchargers. Again, it's something that could be a bit controversial. An important piece of EV charging is that drivers move their cars out of a stall when their car is ready to go. It helps keep chargers flowing and reduces wait time during busy hours or holidays. To combat this, Tesla has charged idle fees for a while now. Quote, the Tesla app allows owners to remotely monitor their vehicle, alerting them when their charge is nearly complete and again once it reaches the charge threshold. For every additional minute a vehicle remains connected to the supercharger, it will incur an idle fee. If the vehicle is moved within 5 minutes, the fee is waived. Idle fees only apply when a supercharger station is at 50% capacity or more. Idle fees double when the station is at 100% capacity. The fees are typically around $1 a minute. Until now, though, you could charge to 100%, and it's well known that the last 10 to 20% of an EV battery takes the longest. To combat this further, Tesla is now adding a congestion fee. Quote, at certain supercharging locations, congestion fees will replace idle fees. A congestion fee is a fee you pay when a supercharger is busy and your vehicle's battery is above a certain level. This fee only happens at busy superchargers and when your battery is above 90% charge. From there, though, it will charge you a fee of $1 per minute. Essentially, Tesla is forcing owners to stop charging at busy stations once their car is at 90%, or they will have to pay a premium. Quote, this fee encourages drivers to charge only as much as is needed for their trip, rather than all the way to 100%. This increases the availability of superchargers so that everyone has access when they need it. There is a similar grace period here. For some, this will be controversial because it means that you aren't free to charge your car to its full charge, at least without a fee. But on the larger scale, this does make a lot of sense. It's best for most EV batteries not to charge to 100%. That last 10% takes the longest, and other people need to charge as well. Overall, I think it makes sense, but some won't be a big fan of this, especially when they hear about it for the first time via a notification when they are about to be charged $1 per minute. Again, though, it's important to note that this only applies to busy superchargers. The majority of the time, congestion fees will not concern you, and you'll be free to charge above 90% if you wish. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. Over at Cruise, after shutting down supervised and manual trips, their CEO and co-founder has resigned. He wrote on Twitter, quote, as for what's next for me, I plan to spend time with my family and explore some new ideas. Thanks for the great ride. The last 10 years have been amazing, and I'm grateful to everyone who helped Cruise along the way. The startup I launched in my garage has given over 250,000 driverless rides across several cities, with each ride inspiring people with a small taste of the future. He is definitely heading out when Cruise is going through a rough time, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. It shows how tough self-driving is and unfortunately may lead to Cruise being shut down in the near future, but we'll have to wait and see. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the on-screen UI for the Cybertruck in depth, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.